I don't even know where we go from here. I have no words. It's This game isn't as bad as the Seahawks game, but I still have no words because this game could have been winnable, no matter the players we lost, no matter the situational plays that happened. We This is a game we should have won, but we didn't. Let's get into it. Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the HOU Bullcast channel. I'm Aaron. I'm your host, and welcome back to the episode. We are here post game, later the night of post game. I was at the game in Texans versus Broncos. Texans lost to the Broncos 18-15. Texans are now 3-5. Broncos are 7-2. So hats off to the Broncos. They had a great game. Coming back against us because they did start off slow in the first half, but came back in the second half really heavy, really strong, looking good. And this is why they won, because they are a potential future playoff team coming up soon. If they stay right, if they stay hot as they've been, because they do have a great defense and they do have a really hot offense. Once they get set, once they get everything going together, they have that chemistry with each other, from Bo Nix to the weapons that he has, from Cortland Sutton to RJ Harvey. Everybody included. So hats off to the Broncos. Hats off to Bronco fans at the game. They were loud, they were proud, and they were excited when they won the game at the end. When To win the game with the field goal. But let's get into it, guys. Like I said, I was at the game. It was a great game. Uh, for the Bronco fans, it was. But as a fan perspective, it was a great game. Enjoying the experience, getting to watch the entrances, getting to watch the music, just everything for fans to be involved by. So it was great to watch. Great to be there. Uh, you know, but let's get into the game. But like I was gonna say, if anybody wants to go to a game, go to a game. It's fun. It is, even if the Texans do lose, it's still a fun game. Take the family, take anybody. It's still a great place to be, no matter where, no matter what. Let's get into it. Let's get into stats. I'll get into stats, and I'll get into the key halves, key points of the game. So let's get into it. All right, offensively, we have CJ Stroud. He went 6 for 10. He had 79 passing yards. He had two attempts for 12 rushing yards. There was a play where where he did run out of the pocket to try to get in the end zone, but he got stopped short. Overall, CJ was looking good. He was looking good. He had enough time in the pocket. We'll talk about the offensive line a little bit. He did take a sack to where he was holding on the ball too long in the middle of the pocket. And everybody around me, including myself, were saying get rid of the ball, but he didn't. He took a sack, which has been pretty basic for the season for him. He's been taking sacks just because he's trying to make the play happen. When CJ, you got to get rid of the ball, brother. You got to do it. Come on. We can go into second down. We can go into third down. We can't go into second and long. We can't keep going to the third and long, and that's on you. So you got to stop taking those sacks, brother. But as you all know, uh, it says 6 for 10, and people can wonder, oh, why is his pass attempt so short? That's because CJ was out for the game due to concussion. He ran outside the pocket, slid late, got hit late. To me, it should have been a flag no matter what, because the NFL is trying to protect their quarterbacks. Then why didn't you protect CJ right there? I understand that he did slide late, but still hitting a defenseless player with the ball in his hands when CJ was already sliding. But I just don't understand how that was a flag. They've called pretty bad flags against us all season when it comes to stuff like that, against hitting the quarterback. But it is what it is. The rest were pretty messy today, with a couple flags where they should have thrown flags, or they didn't call the right play, the right flag in general. Like, there's a play where um J.K. Dobbins was running a zone run to the right side of the field, and I believe it was Kamari. Kamari got really dragged, and yet really dragged and held by their tight end, I believe, and it wasn't called. And the replay showed on the big board, on the big screen board, and every fan was just booing. It was like, what are we doing? And there were certain times where the refs threw a flag, and they were taking like almost a minute to even think about what they wanted to even say. And it's like, the refs were kind of on a mission to make themselves important in the game. So, but I'm not blaming the refs for this loss at all. But I'm still saying, refs nowadays, they just try to make themselves involved for no reason when it doesn't even need to be that way. But yeah, CJ was taken out for concussion protocol, and he was counted as out as soon as the second half started. So we knew once it happened he was going to be out, so there was no question on it. But it's still the future of what's going to happen with CJ with concussion protocol with the upcoming game. But we'll get into that later. But next up we got next up we got Davis Mills who backs up CJ. Davis Mills went 17 for 30. He had 137 pass yards, two attempts for 7 rush yards. I'm not gonna lie, Davis Mills was looking good right before halftime. He was making his passes right. He really only has chemistry with Nico because he's known Nico for the longest time. So he was dumping off to Nico more. He was starting Nico more than the rest of the guys. So I can't really blame him because Davis Mills was just immediately thrown in. But we got to make the chemistry right. We got to make the chemistry better because if CJ was in, I believe we would have won this game because CJ would have been dumping the ball off to every individual weapon he has out there from Zay to Jalen Noel. Where the hell is even Jalen Noel at? Like this is once again as I said from pregame, I said we need to keep utilizing Jalen Noel as we did last week against 49ers. Once again, Nick Caley wants to act like maybe he can do something better. So decided not to use Jalen Noel as much as a weapon. So that's a that's attack on Nick Caley. Jaden Higgins, I honestly don't know what Jaden Higgins is doing, but it doesn't seem like he's out there. Zave Zave is all right, I guess. He's just all right. Christian Kirk, he made his plays happen. Dalton Schultz, yeah, Dalton is doing his best. He looks great. He was leading receiver today. I'll get into that right now. Nico looked good. He did honestly. Davis Mills did throw Nico. If you saw it, Davis Mills did throw Nico a hospital ball, but by getting hit in the head. But thankfully, it was turned into a flag for extra yardage. But I got scared for Nico, thinking it was gonna be the same thing that happened to CJ because Nico was hit after he caught that catch. But David Mills looked good in the first half before halftime, and adjustments were made by apologies for that. Davis Sean Payton and the Broncos, they did adjust well in the second half against Davis Mills, and it was just a slow game, a slow game in the second half to where you knew that they were going to come back because of how this offense was adjusting, how this offense was executing. This offense was just shit once CJ left. Once Davis Mills was, once they got aware of what how we were using Davis Mills, because we do the same thing. We're not gonna adjust as to what we're doing. We're gonna keep doing what we think is good, and that's what kills us. So yeah, good job, Nick Caley. You think you're doing something right? Uh, when it comes to the run game, Nick Chubb, you went 11 for 34 yards. Woody Marks went 10 attempts for 27 rushing yards. Rushing game averaged 2.8 per carry. The rushing game was shit too, dude. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Every time Nick Chubb was getting some good yardage here and there, but the rushing game is terrible. It's terrible. We just keep either running straight up the middle. We either try to do a zone cut to the left, and it's just immediately blown up. His offensive line is trash when in the run game, and pretty much it's just we just have no run game. We don't know what a run game is. And when it comes to Woody Marks didn't even have one passing catch when players like Woody Marks are the players you like. It's the same thing with Jalen Noel. Why are we not using Woody Marks to like as a passing back as a safety valve? Oh, but you want to go ahead and keep throwing out Daria Gumbawale who doesn't do crap? Like, I don't understand this. Like Nick Haley is just stupid as hell. D'Amico is still letting this go on, thinking that we beat the 49ers last week. We looked good against Robert Salah and that good injured defense. Maybe he can do it again. No, I don't understand this play style that we're doing. Why we keep thinking, let's bring back this player because maybe he might do good this week. Yeah, I think so. Dario Gumbawale is the captain, so maybe he can do something right. He can't do shit right. I don't understand this. I don't understand it. So Woody Marks not utilized. Jalen Noel not utilized. Let's get into the receiving. Dalton, he had 6 catches for 77 yards receiving. Nico had 7 catches for 75 yards receiving. Xavier had 3 catches for 30 yards. And Christian Kirk had 4 catches for 26 yards. Each of these receivers, they did what they could, especially once CJ went out. you know, Davis was giving it to the players that he trusted the most, which was Dalton, which was Nico, which was Christian Kirk. Even though he was throwing a bit of overthrown catches that Christian Kirk had to jump for, so hats off to Christian Kirk. There were a few plays uh, where Davis Mills had Christian Kirk open, but he overthrew him, and it would have been a momental play in that drive that had happened because that was just one of the drives that we could have had something happen, whether it be touchdown, whether it be another field goal. We're going to talk about field goals in a little bit because we didn't have no touchdown this entire game. So yeah, Nick Caley, great job. Uh, let's get into the offensive line. The offensive line, they gave up 4 sacks, but honestly, they held their own. Nick Bonito didn't get 1 sack, so that was good. But yeah, the run game wasn't great, but the passing game, I'm not gonna lie, our quarterbacks had a good amount of time, a lot of plays. Like, because me, I'm at the game, so I'm watching how our offensive line is looking, and they were holding their own consistently. They looked good today. Of course, there were certain pressures, but they looked good today. Davis Mills had a lot of time at certain times. CJ did have a lot of time, but there were times where he just held on to the ball looked too long, and he was in the pocket too long. So that's on CJ. But overall, the offensive line, they held their own in the passing game. It's just the run game that we are trash at. I it's the offensive line is when we get to the offseason, because I'll get into this in a little bit, but when we get into the offseason, I truly believe the offensive line is an easy thing to fix. Just head into the draft, head and focus on having the right scouts of who you think is coming out from college as the right offensive lineman to draft in that first round pick. Because I truly believe we will draft an offensive lineman in the first round, and we better draft an offensive lineman in the first round. Because if we don't, then we're just not giving a crap about the offensive line. We're just not giving a crap about our quarterback. Overall, though, offensively, the execution was terrible. Nick Caley needs to be fired. This is going to be said all season, but Nick Caley needs to be fired already. Um, we once again, 2 times, 2 drives, we were at the 1 yard line of our own, ready to score a touchdown, and we couldn't execute. It was oh one like 1 yard line. As you saw in the video in the videos posted before this video started, my experience of the game for y'all to just see. We were at the 1 yard line. It was a run by British Brooks, run by Woody Marks, run by a QB sneak by CJ. Why are we doing this when they are missing Patrick Surtain? They are missing their safety PJ Lock. Go after the backups with Nico. Throw it up. They can probably get a PI from it. Like, it is just abysmal watching this team not be able to score at the 1 yard line. The damn 1 yard line. And when it was 4th and 1, I believe it was a QB, another QB sneak. CJ tried sneaking it in, and what do you know? He didn't get it, and it was a false start. So it was just an overall shot in the foot right there. Can't score for shit at the 1 yard line. Go back another drive. It was Davis Mills' drive. We were at the 1 yard line. They tried doing a QB sneak with Davis Mills. Like, it is pathetic the way we were doing this crap at a 1 yard line. Uh, Another play was a jet sweep play by Nico, went all the way, but was got called back by I believe it was Xavier. Yeah, it was Xavier for a holding call. We moved from the 1 yard line to the 12 yard line, I believe, and once again, it just didn't turn into nothing except for a field goal. That's all it was. That's all this game was. Field goals. Field goals were the answer for us. Our MVP offensively of the game, Kaimi Fairbairn. If we somehow did win this game, the MVP would have been Kaimi because our boy Kaimi went 5 for 6. Yeah, he missed a field goal, but he was the reason why we had points. Like, if for some reason he didn't miss any of those, if for some reason he didn't make any of those field goals, we would have 0 points. It's as easy as it is. If he would have went 6 for 6, the game would have been gone into overtime because it would have been 18-18. But he had missed the his second ever field goal in the game um, early in the game, so it's not like he missed the game time field goal or anything like that. No. So Kaimi, hats off to you. You made your field goals when you needed to make them. It was just the offense that didn't help you out. No, you were hoping to make extra attempts, but the offense decided no, we're just gonna throw you out because we can't score a touchdown for shit. But yeah, it's the same thing as always. You get optimistic about a win the week before, thinking the offense can possibly do something special. And no, yes, CJ was out, but you were still moving the ball. You're still moving the ball with Davis. Like, Davis did look good here and there, and but once you get into the red zone, once you get near the into the end zone, you can't do nothing. You're just you're just looking down on the ground, not knowing what play call you want to call that you can execute right. And that's just what it is. We can't execute because Nick Caley's a dumbass, and we just don't know what we're doing because when we run up the middle, our interior offensive line is not good, and the Denver Broncos defense line is good. So what do you think? What truly do you think they believe we're gonna do? Oh yeah, run up the middle because we think we can play bully ball. When guess what? We're not the bully. We're the victim that will be pushed back. So yeah, this offense is abysmal today. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. When we lost this game today, I was just sitting there in the stands, just not knowing what to think. I didn't know what to think when it comes to making this video. This offense is just terrible. I'm ready for the season to end. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm not excited. I'm just not excited about this offense at all this season. There are some people that are optimistic still. Hats off to y'all. Y'all gonna be optimistic, but I'm not. Like CJ might not even play next week against the Jaguars, and that's a must win. And I heard people on Twitter say, "Oh, but Davis Mills looked good against the Broncos. Maybe he can do that against the Jaguars, and we can win the game." Oh, our defense held the Broncos well. They can hold the Jaguars well. That doesn't mean crap when it comes to a divisional game. When it comes to divisional games, they are always tight games. Like it is what it is. And you think Davis Mills is really gonna drive against the Jaguars? They have a good defensive line. They have a good defense in general. We didn't score a touchdown for shit today. So what do you think we're gonna do against the Jaguars? Oh, field goal, field goal, field goal. Get Kaimi on the field again. Let's get a field goal to win the game. That's all it's gonna be. That's all it's ever gonna be. All right, let's get into the defensive side. Uh, Kalen Bullock had one interception, a beautiful interception. He stole it out of the air after Bonix went deep. But Bonix, he went 18 for 37. He had 173 passing yards. He had two touchdowns, one interception. He went 3 for 36 in the rushing game. He had three attempts rushing in 36 yards. I told you on pregame he was going to run, and that's what happened. He ran when he needed to escape, and he ran when he needed to make plays happen, and that's what happened at the end of the game to get the game winning field goal. That was a terrible defensive scheme the way we were playing right there. Like we shifted to our left side because we believed that the Broncos are going to run to the we're going to do a zone run to the right. Bonix saw that. He took the ball, ran it to the left side of the field. Nobody was there to tackle him. He got to about the 20, I believe, but that was enough to win the game. Bo Nix was using his leg. Hats off to Bo Nix. He looked good. Not in the first half. He was pretty quiet in the first half. We kept him quiet, but once our defense kept getting put back on the field, off and on, as usual this season, Bo Nix and that offense were finally catching their motion, getting hot, and making their plays happen. And like I said, this defense can give up big plays, and that's what happened. They were giving up big plays. You got Henry Toa blowing his coverage. You got Stingley honestly getting beat. I don't know what's wrong with Stingley, but he's been getting beat recently. And Jalen Pete, like honestly, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. We should have lost this game by more, but the Broncos were not catching the easy catches that they had. Like there was so many. Like when I was at the game, there were so many deep passes that they should have had and caught, but thankfully they dropped them. And if they would have caught those passes, this game would have honestly been out of reach. I honestly believe that they would have been won this game, but thankfully they didn't catch them because our defense looked good, but not as good as they should have been. Jacob Dobbins, he went 15 for 61. In the beginning, J.K. Dobbs was running his ass off. Was running his ass off. He was looking good, but then as adjustments were made, he did get put down quietly. So good job by the defense. But J.K. Dobbins, hey, you gotta watch out for J.K. Dobbins. He is good. He is good. When it comes to receiving, the running back R.J. Harvey, he had 5 catches for 51 yards. Cortland Sutton had 1 catch for 30 yards. Franklin, I don't know why I messed up his name. He had 4 catches for 27 yards. Each honestly, their receiving game, as I said, they weren't completing a lot of passes. So we did hold the receiving in check, but not in the right situational um, drives that we needed, like say the ending drive when they got the field goal. We just weren't executing defensively. Our scheme was bad. Our communication was bad. just overall, like me, I want to see EJ Speed more on the field than Henry Toto. EJ Speed is a veteran. He knows how to stop the run, and maybe he can do better at pass coverage than Henry. It's just what it is. That's how I think. Uh, Scoring wise, Will Lutz, he was 1 for 2 on field goals. He had his first field goal was blocked by Danico Autry. That was a great play defensively, and that is on the video I recorded. We had blocked it, and that was exciting. But you know, as we see, the second field goal he made, because the first one was blocked, the second field goal he attempted and made was the game winning field goal. Uh, but overall, when it comes to Denver's offense, they are good. They can get hot. You saw that against the Cow whenever they played the Cowboys. Uh, but when it comes to our defense is good. Our defense is number one for a reason. But I'm not even lying. Our defense line was not even getting there. We had to hope that once Bonix threw it, we either made it an incomplete pass or hopefully intercepted it. But our defense line was just not getting them at all. Like he had a lot of time to make a decision, and when he made a decision, it was either a catch, an incomplete catch, or so on. But yeah, our defense line didn't play that great. They were getting held up at the line. But overall, Denver's offense, they came out. They were quiet in the first half, but when they needed to score, they scored. But I'm not going to blame the defense at all too much. But they were beat on beat on drives that we needed them to stop the offense on. Like say like this is exactly the Buccaneers game all over again when Baker, you know, got that first down by running it by passing to Ibuka, you know, just play after play, executing, and our defense just not ready for it. You know, in that way, they weren't ready for the right execution plays by Bo Nix. So hats off to Bo Nix, hats off to that offense. They will be a they will be a good team heading into the playoffs, especially once Pat Surtain comes back, PJ Lock comes back, and whoever else they're missing comes back. Especially if they add additions into the trade deadline, because you know they are a playoff team that will be buyers in the trade deadline. But overall, guys, with this game is all on the offense. I hope and pray CJ is okay. I saw that from CJ's foundation. They put a story out showing that he's doing well, but I truly don't think he will play the Jaguars game because he did take a hard hit. His head hit the ground really hard. And I think concussion protocol will keep him out against the Jaguars. So who knows how that game is going to go, but how it will go. And it's even terrible because the Colts lost today to the Steelers. Yeah, the Jaguars won, but if we won today, we could have tried to come back on the Jaguars because we play them next week. But look at us now; we're 3-5. We don't know what's gonna happen now. We really got to win out if we even want to have a chance to probably come back. But at this point, guys, I don't even know if I even want to see that comeback happen. I don't want to even give momentum or optimism anymore because this offense is not going to give you what you think they're going to give you. The defense will. The defense will give you what they want to give you, whether it be sacks, tackles for losses, interceptions, fumbles. They will play their ass off for you as a fan. The offense won't. As simple as it is. They have the talent to win games. They have the offensive line is growing here and there with their talent. Like today, like yeah, Broncos got 4 sacks, but the offensive line they didn't look terrible. They didn't. So having an offensive line that looked at as they did today, you can make plays happen to win a game, but it's just all based off execution. It's all based off of play calling, and it's all looking at Nick Caley. He's still on his coaching staff. I don't get how, but he won't be fired. It's as simple as that. But overall, guys, that's all I got for you. I hope you enjoyed the videos beforehand of the before this video. That was my experience with today's game. I've been to Texas games before, but you know, going to a game this season was special. You know, so that's just an experience of mine. I would definitely say, you know, if you're a fan, go to a game. It's fun. Even if they do lose, I hope and pray they win if you go. But yeah, it's overall a fun experience. But when it's games like these that we need to win, it's tough. It is tough, but we'll move on. We'll see what happens heading into this week of just heading into this week of before this upcoming Jaguars game next Sunday. But overall, guys, that's all I got for you. It's disappointing. It is like once again, I hope and pray CJ's okay. We need you back. It would be so great to have you back on next Sunday against the Jaguars because if we can defeat the Jaguars, then maybe we can have something uplifting to think about. But that's all I got for you guys. Please like, share, and subscribe to this video, guys. I truly appreciate the love for y'all. We're gonna keep growing and growing. This is the HOU Bowcast. I'm Aaron. I'm your host, and forever will be your host. Y'all take it easy. Y'all be safe.